If I had to start a tutoring business from scratch in 2025, I'd without a doubt build it to $50,000 per month in under 6 months. And I'm not talking about working 80-hour work weeks or competing on price with every other tutor in your area. I'm talking about a real business that's systemized, profitable, and built to scale. For context, I'm Arjun Thamija, and I took over a failing mathnasium center in Texas and scaled it to over $32,000 a month in just 3 months. I spent over $50,000 of my own money experimenting to figure out what actually works in this industry. And now I help tutoring business owners add anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 per month using the exact systems I built. My client John went from 9,000 pounds a month to 50,000 pounds a month in under 3 months. And he's a 19-year-old dental school student who'd never run a business before. Vishwa, an Ivy League graduate, went from $3,000 a month to $60,000 a month in 8 months while working a full-time 6-figure job. And Faraz went from 10,000 pounds a month to 20,000 pounds a month in 10 weeks while in medical school. But here's what I see most tutoring business owners doing. They're stuck doing everything themselves. They're tutoring all day, taking sales calls at night, and still barely making enough to replace a traditional salary. They're competing on price, barely able to charge $50 an hour, while drowning in admin work and wondering why they can't scale. And there's so much conflicting advice out there: Facebook ads, funnels, organic content, LinkedIn outreach, SEO, hiring, the list goes on and on. Where do you even start? Most people get overwhelmed and either give up or stay stuck between 3 to 5K a month forever. Here's the truth. Building a 7-figure tutoring business isn't complicated if you just focus on the right things at the right time. And in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact 3-level blueprint I'd follow if I started from scratch this year in 2025. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap from zero to $50,000 plus per month. Level 1, get your first clients. Level 1 is all about one thing: proving that people will actually pay you for tutoring. And here's the biggest mistake I see. People spend months building the perfect website, the perfect curriculum, the perfect branding, the perfect everything before they even have a single paying client. And when my client John was first starting out, he fell into this exact same trap. He spent far too much attention on things that simply did not push the needle forward. He logged countless hours sending mass DMs on LinkedIn. And yes, he was able to get to 9K a month by brute forcing it, but he wasn't able to scale his tutoring business past 9K a month just by mass spamming LinkedIn DMs. So here's what I'd do instead. First, I'd pick one specific target audience. Not everyone, one. For me, it was elementary school students taking the STAR test in a small Texas suburb. For you, it might be maths GCSE students in London, Ivy League admissions for ambitious students nationwide, or dyslexic kids in your area. The key is specificity. What age? What subject? What outcome do they desperately want? Because what happens when you try to serve everyone is you end up serving no one. Your marketing is vague, your pricing is all over the place, and parents don't see you as an expert. They just see you as another tutor. But when you get specific, when you say, I help high school juniors increase their SAT score by 200 plus points in less than 8 weeks so they can get into their dream university, now you're speaking directly to a parent's biggest fear and desire. And that's when they pay attention. Next, I'd create a simple, high-value offer. And the key here is sell packages, not hourly or monthly rates. Hourly rates keep you broke, whereas the model we use, which is to sell packages for a minimum of 3 months, will help you collect way more cash up front. And this is a real sustainable business. My first offer would be simple: a $1,200 to $3,000 package for 3 months of tutoring with 8 to 12 lessons per month, focused on a specific outcome. For example, SAT 90-day math mastery, 10 sessions per month, guaranteed 100-point improvement, or we work together until you hit it. Notice what I'm doing here. I'm not selling time. I'm selling a transformation. Now, when it comes to marketing, forget all the fancy stuff. I'd get my first 3 to 5 clients using the most dead simple, but most effective and fastest methods possible. And don't worry if you can't properly implement all 3 of these right away. Depending on how much time you have or what your budget looks like, even just nailing one of these can be enough to get you started. If you have more, try more. Method 1, direct outreach. This would be reaching out to people within Facebook groups for parents, local community pages, and school parent associations, for example. When you do this, you're not spamming. You're offering genuine value. Post about a common problem parents have. Provide a quick tip and mention you're taking on a few students. Method 2, leverage your network. Tell everyone what you're offering. Former colleagues, friends, family. You'd be surprised how many people know someone who needs tutoring. Method 3, simple Facebook ad with a compelling offer. You can realistically start with as little as $5 to $10 a day, broad targeting, and one ad that says, is your child struggling with SAT math? I'm helping 5 students this month increase their scores by 100 plus points. Limited spots available. And then link it to a simple booking page. The goal here at this stage isn't perfection. It's getting cash flow and proof of concept. One of my clients, Vishwa, got to $3,000 a month just using Facebook groups, and John got to 9,000 pounds a month using just LinkedIn outreach. Was it hard, tireless, and frustratingly painful repetitive work? Yes, but it got the ball rolling without much capital expenditure. At this stage, don't worry about building a fancy website, complex funnels or automations, or making a ton of content across every platform that exists. Just focus on getting paid to tutor and delivering results. That's it. Once you've signed your first 3 to 5 paying clients with your upfront packages, you have a choice to make. Is this a side hustle that pays some bills, or do you want to build a real business? If you want a real business, one that can replace your income, give you financial freedom, and scale beyond you, then you need to move to level 2. Level 2, make it a real business. This is where most tutoring business owners get stuck. You have students, you're making some money, but you're completely maxed out. You're the tutor, the salesperson, the admin, the marketing team. You're everything. And there's no way to grow because you've run out of hours in the day. I've been there. When I was running a mathnasium center, there were weeks I was working 80 to 100 hours. I felt like I was completely drowning. So level 2 is about building the systems that allow you to scale beyond yourself. Here's exactly what I do. First, you need to build a predictable client acquisition system. At this stage, you can't just rely on word of mouth or brute forcing outreach on Facebook groups and LinkedIn. You need a system that generates qualified leads every single day, without you having to leverage your time to do so. Create a Facebook ad, which leads to a landing page with a video sales letter, which then leads to a booking page. Then create a video sales letter, which is a 3 to 5 minute video where you explain who you are, what you do, show student results, explain your program, and address the biggest objections parents have. This video does the heavy lifting because it pre-sells parents before they ever talk to you. This is the very first step I took with my client, John. This was the engine behind him scaling from 9K to 50K cash collected in under 3 months. The VSL warmed parents up, built trust, and got them excited before the sales call even happened. Then, set up automated follow-ups for people who shown interest, text messages, emails, even voice messages before the sales call. For example, hey Sarah, looking forward to our call tomorrow. I reviewed your form and I think we can definitely help Emma with her math struggles. I've attached a quick video that goes over how we helped another student go from a C to an A in under 2 months. Is there any reason you won't be able to make our meeting tomorrow? By the time parents get on a call with you, they already trust you. They already want to buy. You're not convincing them. You're just confirming what they already believe. This is the difference between closing 20% of your calls and closing 70% plus. And I'm not exaggerating. My close rate on warm leads that went through this process was consistently 70 to 80%. Next, you should systemize how you actually deliver tutoring. Create templates for everything: onboarding, session plans, progress tracking, parent communication, homework assignments. You want to do this now because in level 3, you're going to need to hand this off to other tutors. And if everything is in your head, you can't scale. Document everything you do, every technique, every resource, every process. This is exactly what we do with all of our clients. We create complete SOPs that can be handed to any team member, and we deploy automations and software to streamline everything as much as possible once a student has enrolled. For example, when Vishwa came to us, he was doing everything manually. We systemized his entire operation, from onboarding sequences to session planning to parent communication. Now, his tutors can deliver the same high-quality experience without him being involved in every detail. That's how he scaled from $3K a month to $60,000 a month while working a full-time job. Now, next is the scariest but most important step, hiring your first team member. Here's how I'd recommend going about this. Once you hit $8,000 to $10,000 per month, I'd hire a part-time appointment setter. You want to hire a setter first because time is your biggest bottleneck. On top of everything else you're already managing, you don't want to be spending hours on the phone with unqualified leads, time wasters, people who are just shopping around. A setter qualifies leads, answers basic questions, and only books parents for a meeting with you who are serious and can afford your program. You can hire an offshore virtual assistant for $3 to $5 an hour or pay commission-based. Either way, this immediately frees up 10 to 15 hours a week of your time. Then, hire your first tutor or first few tutors, someone who can follow your systems and deliver results. Pay them well. Train them properly, and now you've just doubled your capacity without doubling your time. Finally, in this stage, I'd set up a simple CRM. I recommend Go High Level, as it's the simplest and most user-friendly. This handles everything: lead capture, automated follow-up, calendar booking, client communication, website creation, everything. I know it sounds complicated, but it's literally plug-and-play templates. Once you set it up once, it runs on autopilot. This is what allows you to run a $20,000 to $25,000 per month tutoring business without drowning in admin work. Everything is automated. Leads come in, they get nurtured, they book calls, they get onboarded, all without you touching anything. At level 2, don't worry about perfect branding or fancy websites, worrying about what your competitors are doing, SEO or a big organic presence, or using a bunch of new shiny softwares and tools. Focus on systems that free up your time and create predictable revenue. That's it. Once you're at $20,000 to $25,000 per month with basic systems in place, you have another decision to make. Do you want to stay at this level? It's a comfortable income. It's a manageable business. You're probably working 20 to 30 hours a week. For a lot of people, this is the dream. Or do you want to build something that generates $50,000, $70,000, even $100,000 per month? Do you want to build a team to run the ins and outs of the business for you? Do you want to be able to work from anywhere in the world and travel whenever you want? Do you want to never have to worry about money ever again? If the answer is yes, you need level 3. Level 3, scale. This is where you go from self-employed to a business owner. This is where you remove yourself from the day-to-day operations and focus purely on strategy. This is where you build a high 6-figure, even 7-figure tutoring business. I'm going to be very direct here. Most tutoring business owners never make it to this level. They stay stuck at $10,000, $15,000, maybe $20,000 a month because they don't understand what it actually takes to scale. Here's what you should focus on if you want to make it. At this point, it comes down to a numbers game, and tutoring businesses have 3 key metrics. Metric 1, lead volume, but more specifically, qualified lead volume. How many qualified leads are you getting per month? Metric 2, conversion rate. What percentage of those leads actually end up enrolling? And metric 3, lifetime value. How much money is each enrollment worth to your business? Everything you do at this level is about optimizing these 3 numbers. Let me break it down. To scale to $50,000 plus per month, you need 40 to 60 qualified leads per month minimum. This means doing more of what already worked at the previous level, doubling down on scaling ads. It can also mean adding new traffic sources and having an omni-channel acquisition approach, which means to have different channels in which you sign up students from. This can mean starting Google ads or creating content. It means building your reputation, 100 plus Google reviews, partnerships with schools and brands, referral systems that actually work. When my client John implemented this system, he went from struggling with extremely inconsistent lead flow to getting 40 plus qualified leads per month. That's what allowed him to scale from £9,000 to £50,000 in cash collected in under 3 months. That said, you also need to make it your goal to close at least 40 to 50% of qualified leads. This requires better pre-selling, VSLs, nurturing content. It requires trained closers who know how to handle objections. It requires building a real, recognizable brand that builds trusts with parents. Here's the thing. Every 10% improvement in your conversion rate doubles your revenue at the same ad spend. Let me show you what I mean. If you're currently closing 10% of your leads, a 10% improvement doesn't mean you go to 11%. It means you improve by 10%, taking you to 20%. That's exactly double. Think about it this way. John was closing around 20% of his leads before working with us. After we implemented our pre-selling systems and sales framework, he jumped to over 40%. Same ad spend, double the revenue. You don't need more leads. You just need to close more of the leads you already have. Now, once you're doing that, the real money is in retention and upsells. Focus on student results so they stay longer. Upsell to other subjects or next year's tutoring. Add siblings. Build loyalty. Going from a 3-month average client lifespan to a 12-month average is a 4x revenue multiplier. Same clients, same work, 4 times the revenue. Another very important thing to understand as you scale is that you cannot compete on price. You need premium positioning. This is the intersection of 3 things: who you serve, what transformation you deliver, and why you're uniquely qualified. For example, I help ambitious high school students get into Ivy League universities through personalized SAT prep and personal statement coaching. I got into Cornell, and I know exactly what it takes. Over 40% of my students gain acceptance into Ivy League universities. Your edge could be your personal story, your results, your methodology, your guarantee, but you need something that makes you different. This is what allows you to charge $3,000 to $5,000 upfront while competitors of yours are charging $50 an hour. You're not selling tutoring. You're selling a transformation, and transformations are worth exponentially more than time. This is what your full stack system looks like at this stage. Paid ads on Meta driving 15 or more leads per day. High converting funnels with VSLs that pre-sell. Automated follow-up, texts, and emails that nurture leads 24/7 without you touching anything. A trained sales team of setters and closers that convert 40% or more of your leads. This is what we build for our clients. At the Mathnasium Center, once we had this infrastructure in place, we went from 5 to 10 assessments per month to 30 to 40 assessments. Same market, same location, completely different system. You also need to make sure you have a team in place that can deliver at scale. Hire A players to your team. Hire tutors, setters, and closers first. Then hire a customer success manager to handle retention. Then hire an operations manager to handle the back end. Your job becomes strategy, team leadership, and growth. You're not tutoring. You're not taking sales calls. You're not following up with leads at midnight. You're the owner. Finally, build systems so that the business runs without you. SOPs for everything: hiring, onboarding, tutoring, sales, weekly metrics dashboards so that you know what's happening at a glance. Team meetings and accountability structures. This is how you work 10 to 15 hours per week while the business does 50 to 100K a month. Let me show you the reality of what it looks like in practice. John started at 9,000 pounds a month. He implemented these level 3 strategies. He's now at 50,000 pounds a month and scaling to 100,000 pounds a month. Vishwa went from $3,000 a month to $60,000 a month in under 8 months using this exact playbook. Faraz went from 10,000 pounds a month to 20,000 pounds a month in 10 weeks while reducing his ad spend by 75%. This isn't theory. This is the exact playbook, and it works. So let's recap the 3 levels. Level 1, get your first clients. Prove the concept. Get your first 3 to 5 high-ticket enrollments. Don't overthink it. Just start. Level 2, get your systems. Build the infrastructure. Grow to 15 to 20,000 per month. Hire your first team members. Automate what you can. Level 3, get to scaling. Premium positioning, leverage systems, build a team, work on the business, not in it. Consistently hit 50 to 100,000 plus per month every single month. Now, to be completely honest with you, most tutoring business owners never make it past level 2. They stay stuck trading time for money, competing on price, doing everything themselves. They're working 60 to 70 to 80 hours a week and barely making $3,000 a month profit. But it doesn't have to be that way. The difference between $3,000 a month and $50,000 a month isn't talent. It's not luck. It's not even hard work. It's having the right systems, the right strategy, and the right support. If you want help implementing this exact blueprint, here's what I'd recommend. I've put together a free training that breaks down our complete client acquisition system. It's the same system that's helped our clients add $10,000 to $50,000 per month in under 90 days. The link is in the description. It's completely free, no catch. And if you want to work with us directly to build this for your tutoring business, we can talk about that too. But start with the training. It'll show you exactly what's possible. Look, I dropped out of the number 8 business school in the United States to build this. I went from owing $20,000 in credit card debt to helping tutoring business owners build 7-figure businesses. I've been broke. I've had panic attacks from the pressure of scaling. I've failed. I've spent over $50,000 of my own money figuring this out, but I did it. And if I can do it, you absolutely can too. The opportunity in the tutoring industry right now is massive. Parents are desperate for results. They'll pay premium prices if you can position correctly. And the systems to scale are easier to build than ever before. The question is, are you going to take action? If you watch this video all the way through the end, you'll want to watch the next one too, as I break down other important things you need to know if you want to build a successful tutoring business. I'll see you in the next one.